everyone, welcome back to another episode of Monday Shots, your go-to podcast for insights, stories, and trends in the world of shipping. I'm your host Khyati, and today we have a very special episode lined up for you. Joining us is someone who plays a key role in navigating one of the most dynamic markets in the industry, the Atlantic. It's my pleasure to welcome Ms. Vrishali Mandlekar, Manager Chartering at Bainbridge Navigation. With her expertise and vast knowledge, Vrishali will be sharing some valuable insights into the market dynamics, challenges, and opportunities in the North Atlantic market. Vrishali, it's an honor to have you on Monday Shots. So welcome and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Khyati, for having me on Monday Shots.
I hope you're comfortable and equally excited like I am.
For sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So before we jump onto our very technical discussion, I would like to ask you, as far as I know, this is your second innings with Bainbridge, right?
That is
So could you please tell us how was your first one and how come you ended up here in your second innings?
I was working in Abhimit Sharma's team, handling East Coast India China outbound cargoes along with Indian coastal trade from East Coast to West Coast. It was a wonderful experience working with him, and it was a lot of fun working in the sector that I have been a part of for quite a long time. And after I moved to the US, I started working for Bainbridge again in 2023. And this time I was handling the US Gulf, US West Coast region. It has been around 1.5 years so far. It has been a complete paradigm shift in the way the trade works, and so far the focus has been on developing a good rapport and relationship with the brokers, charterers, and the owners in the region, understanding the trade so that we take calculated decisions and work in a way that will facilitate our business without taking undue risks. So far, we have been very successful in establishing good contact with the brokers and charters, and we are getting a good support from them. And we sure hope that it materializes into a very good business model for our company.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Vrishali, for sharing, and all the very best for your second inning. Okay, Vrishali, let's kickstart our discussion. So, over the past decade, the US shipping industry has seen significant shifts from changing trade routes to evolving market demands. In your experience, how has the market size of the US shipping industry evolved during this time? What are your thoughts on this evolvement of your US shipping industry?
There have been a lot of factors contributing to the market size of US Gulf shipping market industry. The first thing that comes to my mind is investment in the port infrastructure that has helped the ports to handle larger volumes with increased efficiency. Then there has been the expansion of the Panama Canal in 2016 that has helped larger vessels to come into US Gulf and US East Coast. This has also changed the traditional shipping activity on the West Coast ports like Los Angeles and Long Beach. Then thinking about it, the 2018 trade war between US Gulf and China, which escalated, also led to the shift in the major shipping route, which is US Gulf grain going into China and also coal. The increased tariffs made the suppliers look for alternative trading routes like Southeast Asia, India and Mexico. Though there was a drop in the volumes due to this, but it did not necessarily drop the demand.
Okay.
And then we had the pandemic leading to unprecedented shipping delays that also affected the volumes. But then we again saw the recovery of the market after the pandemic, and there was a temporary spike which increased the market share. And when you try to translate all this into numbers, we see a very steady growth in the US Gulf shipping industry. Like in 2010, The total volume, seaborne volume of the US shipping industry was close to 1.2 billion metric tons, which rose to around 1.5 billion metric tons by 2023. And as per the US Department of Transportation, this volume is projected to grow up to 2.4 billion metric tons by 2045, which would be around an increase of 1.3% annually. And when you try to look at the growth in the revenue, it has rose to around from 66 billion in 2010 to approximately 140 billions in 2023. So there has been a substantial increase in the revenue also over the decade, and we do expect to see a steady growth in the shipping industry when it comes to the US Gulf market. Also, I would like to add one more thing, that with the new environmental regulations, there has been a more inclination towards cleaner fuel, cleaner energy, and retrofitting vessels with scrubbers. Though it has increased the operational costs, it has also opened up new markets for green shipping and also for decarbonization technologies. And then there has been the use of digitization and blockchain in tracking shipments, and also AI in logistics that has helped improve the efficiency in handling the logistics and port operations that we see. And this reflects the steady growth in the US shipping industry.
Well, that's great, Vishali. Thank you for sharing all these insights with us. Those are really very helpful. Okay, so now looking ahead, the shipping industry is no stranger to rapid changes, right? Especially with advancements in technology and evolving market condition, as you just discussed. How do you see the competitive landscape of the US shipping industry shifting over the next 5 years? I mean, do you think we'll see more consolidation, increased innovation, or perhaps new players entering the market?
The last decade has seen a major consolidation in the shipping industry, with major players merging and forming alliances. This has impacted the competitiveness of the market, but at the same time also led to more efficient use of capacity and pricing strategies. But this also leads to a few major players exerting more control over the freight rates and the market trends. Going forward, I do feel that this trend will continue and we'll see more mergers and consolidation of the shipping market. But that will also be good and will help in making better use of the capacity.
Okay, Vishali, so let's shift our gears a bit. Understanding the distinctions between different trade routes is crucial for strategic planning, right? So could you walk us through the key differences between the Pacific trade and the North Atlantic trade in terms of volume, market dynamics, and major players?
Sure. So when we look at the Pacific trade, it is mainly impacted by the demand in Asia for raw materials, especially China. And when you look at the Atlantic trade, it is much more balanced on both the sides. The major commodities exported by US is coal and grains, mostly to Europe and to China. And the Pacific trade is much higher, larger in volume as compared to the Atlantic trade. And the major players in the US Gulf that we are focusing on right now for grains, it is ADM, Bunge, Cargill, Purdue. These are the charters with a very steady flow of grain shipments from US going into Europe as well as to China, which are called the front hauls. And there are also players like TCP who have a major volume of pet coke moving into India. So these are few of the major players that we are working on.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing, Vishali. Um, and thank you for breaking down those trade routes for us. Um, so now, as we know, the US shipping industry is highly competitive with major players already well established. So I'm sure our listeners would be keen to know what is Bainbridge navigation strategy to establish a significant presence in the US shipping market. How are we positioning ourselves to stand out in such a competitive setup? Please share your.
Sure. As I mentioned earlier, our focus so far has been in developing a good rapport and contact with the brokers, charters, and owners to make them aware of our presence. We have been very active in establishing a dialogue with all these players, and so far we have been able to get a very good support from them. We see all their requirements, and we have also had a few of our period tonnages, especially the handies, positioned in the US Gulf, and we have been able to place them effectively and find business for them. And we have received support from all these players so far. Going forward, we wish to be slow and steady in our approach. We don't want to take any undue risks. We want to focus more on the quality business, wherein we are not taking a lot of losses right in the beginning, and we are focusing on increasing our tonnage count in the Gulf. That will help us get more exposure on the cargoes as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vishali. That was really a lot of information and very, very useful, I assume, for our listeners. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, well, with this, we come to an end to our discussion today. I believe it's been a fantastic conversation, and I'm sure our listeners have gained a wealth of knowledge today. Thank you once again, Vishali, for joining us and sharing all these small pieces of information which are so crucial for us, especially for a layman like me. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope you had a great time discussing all of this.
I had a wonderful time, Khyati. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. And to our listeners, do not forget to like and leave a review for us. Stay tuned for our upcoming episode. Till then, I'm Khyati signing off. Goodbye.